Welcome to this step-by-step guide on automating Next.js 15 deployment using GitHub Actions and Vercel. By the end of this tutorial, you will have a fully automated CI/CD pipeline that checks for errors and deploys your app seamlessly. Let's get started. First, we need to create a Next.js 15 project. Open your terminal and run the following command. Now, Next.js will ask a few setup questions. Simply press Enter to select the default options. Once the project is created, navigate into the folder. Now, let's open the project in VS Code. Type the following command, code space dot and press Enter. This will open the entire project in Visual Studio Code. Now, let's set up our code formatter and type checker. Run the following command. Now, create a .Prettier file and add these settings. Next, update your package.json scripts. Once everything looks good, commit and push your changes. Now, let's create a GitHub Actions Workflow to automate our linting, type checking, and deployment. Next, create a workflow file. Now, open the file and paste the following code. Now, commit and push this workflow file to GitHub. Now, let's deploy the project using Vercel's web dashboard. Click on New Project. Click Import next to your GitHub repository named Nextjs CICD. Vercel will now scan your project and detect it's a Next.js app. Keep all the settings default and click Deploy to. Vercel will now install dependencies, build the project, and deploy it. This process usually takes less than a minute. Once completed, you will see a live URL like this. Congratulations! Your Next.js 15 project is now live on Vercel. To set up automated deployments using GitHub Actions, we need a Vercel token. Open Vercel dashboard. Click your profile icon. Settings. In the left sidebar, select Tokens. Click and give it a name like GitHub Deployment Token. Click Create and copy the token. Now, we need to add this token to GitHub Secrets. To allow GitHub to use this token for deployment, open your GitHub repository. Go to Settings, Secrets, and Variables, Actions. Click New Repository Secret. Set the name as Vercel and paste the Vercel token as the value. Click Save. Now, GitHub can deploy our project to Vercel. To avoid conflicts between Vercel and GitHub Actions, open Vercel Dashboard, Project Settings, Git. Toggle Automatically Deploy to Don't Build Anything. Now, your app will deploy only through GitHub Actions when you push code to GitHub. Now, let's intentionally trigger an ESLint error to test our GitHub Actions pipeline. Open VS Code and navigate to page.tsx file. Modify the file by keeping the image import but removing its usage in the JSX. Here, we removed the image/component but left the import statement. ESLint will detect this as an unused import error. Commit and push the changes to trigger GitHub Actions. Go to GitHub, your repo. Click on the Actions tab. Click on the latest workflow run. You will see that the ESLint step fails because the image component is imported but not used. This proves that our GitHub Actions workflow correctly detects linting issues before deployment. Now, let's fix the issue and ensure our deployment goes through successfully. Open VS Code. Navigate to page.tsx file. Either remove the unused import or use the image component properly. Save the file. Commit and push the fix. Now, go back to GitHub Actions. You will see that all checks pass and the deployment to Vercel is triggered successfully. Find the latest workflow run. This should be triggered automatically after we pushed our fix. You will see that GitHub Actions is now running the following steps. Linting with ESLint and Prettier Since we fixed the issue, this step should pass. Type checking with TypeScript. If there are no TypeScript errors, this will pass. Deploying to Vercel. Now that all checks pass, the deployment will proceed successfully. Wait for the deployment step to complete. If everything is correct, the workflow will show a green check mark, meaning our app has been successfully deployed to Vercel. Once the GitHub Actions Workflow has completed successfully, it's time to check the live deployment. Go to your Vercel dashboard. You should now see the latest deployment under the Deployments tab. Click on the live URL, and your Next.js application should be running without any issues. And that's it. We have successfully set up a Next.js project with a fully automated CI/CD pipeline using GitHub Actions and Vercel. Rock it!